However you think today is because of the environment you grew up from. And if you want to change your life, you change your environment. The truth is that how much we can make in any industry determines the type of industry we trade in. For instance, how much do you think the person who is a paper seller can make in his entire life maybe at a go? Just a paper seller, maybe in a day, he said, I cash out today. Like how much? Just give me an idea. 5K, right? Yes. Does it mean that she cannot make 50 million? She cannot make it, right? It's not possible. Because the business she is doing, there is a cap on that business. So if you need to be rich, find the business that the rich people do. You will become rich as they are. Even the Bible said when they said Lazarus was in the house of a rich man. Imagine a rich man eating 7-course meal and the crumbs on his table is falling. It is still better than eating ewa and agege bread, right? Ewa going and agege bread. Even if it is in your own bedroom. But because you are in that environment of the rich, it transforms your life. So I'm going to take us on that journey. For me, it's also a learning process. When I started, I never knew all these things. I got the result. Many people are wondering how easy I got them. But because I had an interest, I wanted to take charge of my life. I came into the business when I was at a crossroad. I needed to find something meaningful to do because the things I was doing wasn't, adding up anymore. And God led me into the industry. And I will tell you of a truth. My life is evident, and there is evidence, so no explanation. So, next slide. So, it's real estate, and I'm going to take you to real estate through the journey of real estate. So, what is real estate? When they say real estate, and let me make it as simple as we can note it. Real estate is all around us. It is all around us. We live in real estate. Everything we do is real estate. Where we are in today is a typical example of real estate. I remember 2016 or 2014, yes, I used to pass here. Here used to be just a fallow ground. This building we're on today used to be a fallow ground. 2014, I worship with House on the Rock. So each time we drive to church, then when House on the Rock just moved to where they are now, here used to be a fallow ground. But look at how many offices that are in this building. This is about 6 floors building, and I think there's about over 100 offices are here. So this is an example of a real estate. And like I defined it in the slide, real estate is a piece of property consisting of land and the building on it, alongside with the natural resources such as crops, minerals, and water. Real estate is immovable in nature. So the real estate, when we talk about it, is not just only land and the building. It includes the air rights above the land, and then the resources below the land, and also the crops on the land. Now, if you notice, for instance, as big as Nigeria is, a plane from Niger Republic cannot enter Nigeria without taking permission from the Air Force. It is not land, but it is part of Nigeria's real estate. If a plane enters mistakenly without getting approval, they will shut it down. So as you are in a plane entering into another country, immediately that plane takes off from Nigeria. He's calling the next terminal that I am passing your airways. They will get approval before they pass. So if they don't get approval before passing, it is a sorry case. They will shoot it down. So real estate is not just only land and building. The mineral resources below it. I think until late 60s, if you find any resources in your land, it belongs to you. And for many people that doesn't know, let me not go political anyway, but the problem of the bandits in the north is because of the gold and the mineral resources in the north. So it is also an aspect of real estate. Real estate is defined as the land and any permanent structures like a home or improvement attached to the land, whether natural or man-made. Real estate is a form of real property. Real estate is all around us, and this is the forms or types of real estate. Just like I have mentioned before, real estate is defined as the property, land, buildings, and air rights above the land and underground rights below the land. So we live in real estate every day. In fact, the first thing that God created was real estate. Because he created the air. When he said, let there be light. Every other thing, when he said, let there be light, he saw darkness. And then he now created water. And now created land. And now started creating every other thing that we all see today. So God actually was the first real estate developer. God was actually the first real estate developer. So when you read Genesis chapter 1, it gives you how creation happened. What God was actually creating was real estate. And how important real estate was is that God had to create it first before creating the man that will live in it. So real estate is an aspect of our life that we cannot joke with. So people that are in real estate are co-creators with God. Because that is the most evident thing people see. And people cannot say you are rich until you own a house. Or you own a land. So when sometimes if you are talking with your friends, just check it and they tell you, I just buy land. You started looking at that person from another perspective. So you are not a lord until you own real estate. That is why they call them landlords. It is what gives you the same title with God, ownership of real estate. So if you don't own the real estate or you don't trade in the real estate, you are not in the category of God. That's why they call agents of darkness, agents, real estate agents. So when you are in the business, you are as influential as the devil is. The way they call devil is the agent of darkness. You even pray, you even cast and bind, Abi. Now, they call you agents. That is the first word they call people that trade in real estate, agents. But when you start going through trainings like this, you start becoming a realtor. And from realtor, you move to becoming a broker. So it is important that you know this. The next slide. Now, examples of real estate. Number one is residential real estate. The second one is commercial real estate, which includes hospitals, shopping malls, plazas, markets, hospitals, airports, filling stations, train stations, even the mosque we pray to, or we pray in rather, and churches we pray in, is an aspect of real estate. It's an aspect of real estate. Where we just wake up this morning is an aspect of real estate. Because I said it before, how important real estate was. It was the first thing, how important it is. God created it first before creating man. God created real estate first before creating man that will manage the real estate. So when you see forest, is an aspect of real estate. Where you woke up from this morning is an aspect of real estate. Where we are right now is an aspect of real estate. The road we drove today is an aspect of real estate. So you can't separate real estate from man. I can't separate man from real estate. We are intertwined. And your life cannot get an upward movement financially until you own real estate. Even the businesses we do is very volatile. Your business is just one shot away from one bad policy or one bad decision, and your business will crumble. But if you own real estate, you can always bounce back at any point in time. I'm an evidence of that, and that's part of the reasons why I take business of real estate very serious. Next slide. Now, what are the benefits of investing in real estate? Number one, capital appreciation. You buy cheap and you resell at a higher rate. This is one of the reasons why people invest in real estate. Now, if you don't know why people behave the way they do, you will not understand people. Human beings are very simple to understand. When you see somebody act the way they act, and you know the reason why they're acting that way, you will just understand that life is not that difficult. So why will people invest into real estate, or why are people investing into real estate? When I started making findings about the owner of this place, I found out that he's from my village. From my village actually. I never knew him, but I know I'm standing his investment. When he bought this land, and today that we are standing here, the prices are not the same. The prices can never be this. No matter how bad Nigerian economy is. In fact, if there is more inflation in the economy, real estate gets more value. That is how beautiful real estate is. If there are more inflation, if the digits of inflation is higher in the economy, the value of real estate keeps increasing and appreciating. And this is why you need to understand it, because why many of us are here today is to understand the business that we are about to start, or the business that we are doing already. Because when you understand why people buy what they buy, it becomes very easy for you to sell to them. So if I see a girl who is not too fair, but wants to be fair, skin is for that person. But if I see a girl who is comfortable in her dark complexion, and I'm telling her to go and do scrub, that she will turn to my sister at the back, you can't move her. So by the time, if you understand the rationale on how people think, you now know how to position products to them. And one of my aim in this class today is that after we have finished this class, you can start earning millions selling real estate. So what has worked for me is that if I go to a client, these are the benefits I tell the clients. People don't just want to buy land. They want to buy what the land will give them. Why do I need to buy a Rolls Royce? Can't I afford the Camry? Mobility, right? But they're not the same. It's different types of mobility. So if you're selling to me a Rolls Royce now, I'll tell you, do you want me to go and rob? It's something I desire for, but I cannot afford it. It gives me the joy of mobility from one point A to point B, as well as my Camry will give me, or as well as any other car will give me. But when you now understand that this man is maybe worth $10 million, Camry is a jalopy to him, and do you want to insult him? It is him that it is then you now start positioning the product like Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Rolls Royce to him. So if you understand why people buy real estate, or what real estate do for people rather, and tell it to your prospective clients, they will buy. And they buy usually when your stories are personal. So in this number one, I'll give you a practical example. 2018, 2019, I stumbled to a realtor. I think I was in traffic, and then they gave me a flyer. I read through the flyer. I was like, wonderful. And then the guy kept following me up. He called me, and then we're saying numbers, and he started calling me. He told me they have a property. So I bought the property, I think 3.5 million naira done, a plot of land. That was way after Dangote Refinery, but I think with Adron Homes or so. And then I never went to that place. Imagine 2018, how that axis was. And then he told me that I can start paying with 200,000 naira initial deposits. Okay, I think they were doing a promo that time. I said, if you pay 200,000, they will give you a bag of rice or so. So I gave them the 200,000, and they gave me a bag of rice. And then I used it to lock up four plots. This is 2023. God bearing me witness. Each of those plots is way above 30 million naira. So when I tell clients that I invested in a real estate XYZ time, and this is the value of that real estate now, they start paying attention to me. When you see people that own 30 plots, they cannot live in those 30 plots at the same time. But it is the business behind owning those 30 plots. So for instance, someone who bought 30 plots in the same estate that I bought at 3.5, and now he's selling for 35 million naira. By 35 million naira, multiply it by 30 plots, and then do the deductions. 35 by 3.5 million, and then, 3.5 million multiplied by 30 plots, and then 35 million multiplied by 30 plots. Just do the deduction. You will see what this person has done in less than 4 years. There is no investment scheme in the world that can do that for you. Good morning, man. So it is what real estate do. And this is the reason why people invest into real estate. The benefit of also investing into real estate is stable cash flow. One of the things it does is that I'm going to be giving us life examples so that we can relate to it. That life example, for instance, the guy who built here, and it has been proven mathematically, if you build any house and you rent it out, it will take you 10 years maximum or minimum, or on the average actually, to collect the rent, to collect the amount of money used in building that place. So when you have collected that rent in 10 years, and then after 10 years, now you've collected the rent, Abi? Probably they are paying you monthly, they are paying you annually, right? And in 10 years, you have collected the rent. Now, 10 years later, the property has also done what? It appreciated in value. So you have also made money in another way. So you made money in capital appreciation, and also you made money because they were paying you rent. So it could be monthly rent, it could also be annual rents. So if in that property, your annual rent is about 20 million every year, there is no, it is, even if you are a very big man, there is no big man that will give 20 million today. Or bank collect 20 million from him that will not know that money left him, no matter how big you are. At least your balance sheet will do head like, you may not go down, but you could just do like head like this. Somebody just push me. Oh. Do you understand? So it is one thing that real estate does. So let me give you an instance. Someone bought a land in Amu Odofin. Do you know where Ibiza is in Amu Odofin? Yes. Now, Ibiza is on lease in that property. Now, he has been there going to upward of 10 years. Now, the person who owns that property has collected the money used in buying that empty land like times 2. See, one thing you will learn in this business is you need to get used to calling big numbers. Maybe if you get home, if you have not done it before, take biro, start writing how many zeros make 1 million, how many zeros make 1 billion. You need to get used to it. Because it's a business with big money, and it's a business of big men. You know, there are some people that they have not mentioned 10 million naira at once in their lifetime. And if someone tell you I have 10 million, they're like, how? Did you thief it? Or somebody just paid a transaction of 100 million. Like, 100 million looks far-fetched. This morning, I woke up to a transfer slip of 7 million naira from somebody. Real estate. They just paid this money. So it is business that you need to get used to. When a guy is just serious, the way he will say it confidently, you even want to know, and you ask that guy, waiting, they give you guts. So it's about the confidence in mentioning those numbers that when you talk to people, they want to buy from you. The third thing real estate does for you is financial security. Real estate is the safest form of investment. The best investment on earth is earth. Now, real estate is something that you can own. Once you buy it genuinely, you can go to bed and sleep. Because we said in the beginning that it's an immovable investment. It's immovable in nature. So this building was not here 2014, but this building is here now, right? Apart from demolition, this building will be here till the next 30 years, 40 years, even 100 years. Now, it is not a business that you do. You are afraid that, my stock in the warehouse, these boys are tiffing it. They are collecting this. I counted it was 120 units. I just came today. It's no longer 120 units. So when you invest into real estate and secure the property, your mind is at, in fact, you'll be praying to God. Let the economy be getting, see, as Nigeria is getting bad today, there are people that are happy. The way Nigeria is, they say Nigeria is bad now. They want to Japa. There are people that they don't know what they want to go abroad. What am I going to do abroad? In the same Nigeria now. In this same Nigeria. Because the land they bought, maybe God or their parents gave them land, or they bought land about, let's say, just imagine somebody owning 50 plots in Lekki Phase 1. No, just imagine, the way we are now, just imagine you own 50 plots in Lekki Phase 1. What will America give you? When you will sell one plot and you can loud spend it anywhere. You can come to branch manager or go to Tony Elumelu and ask him, what's your father's name again? Because is the security he gives to you. At 200 million naira per plot and you own 50 plots. That's 10 billion, right? That's 10 billion. But many people missed that opportunity. Many people missed Lekki phase 1 when they were calling it Morocco. And everyone was swampy. But people that took that risk, this is where they are today. Even if they didn't build it, they just fenced it. And let me even tell you, a land that is not fenced, a land that is not built, appreciates higher than a house or a land that has a building on it. That's the gimmicks that I will still teach all of us today. If you just buy a land and secure it, put a gate in it, fence it. If a building is beside it is selling for 50 million, that empty plot can sell for 40 million. And that is what? Real estate. So it gives you financial security. There's what they said in Igbo language. I will speak it in Igbo, then I will translate it. They say, Akunesio Bike. That is, wealth makes your mind so strong. If you get a lot where you go see now, you go just walk up and say, this boy, they talk rubbish. Make I just... Do you understand what I mean? So it is what it gives to you. And it is the safest investment. This one is not, they say, the bot for the currency, that be the crypto, they fall. Or crypto, it doesn't... real estate cannot come down. And it cannot be oversubscribed. Real estate. Now, they have made a proposition that Nigeria will be the 5th largest country in the world in the next 2050. That's in the next 27 years. So when we talk about that Nigeria is going to have these realities, don't take it as a joke. In fact, we are more than almost 300 million now as of today. Because we don't have enough statistics. Lagos is more than 30 million people. Lagos alone is more than 30 million people. Real estate gives you leverage. A bank can give you money to buy a land or buy a house. But a bank cannot give you money to go and buy their stock market in the market. So, this is the Tony Elumelu, and I said, Oga, I beg, I need 15 million. I want to buy your stock in the market. Tony, no go even, this one don't run mental. But if I tell Tony, I beg, I won't buy one building for banana. I just need the extra 100. Make I complete that. Tony will say, make I give you 200 because he knows that you are buying what cannot depreciate. What cannot depreciate. And you cannot use, okay, that can happen in America, but I don't know about Nigeria. You cannot use your, the stock you have. Yes, even now in Nigeria, the stock you own today, you carry all your shares certificates and now go to bank and say, Tony, this is my collateral for that loan I gave you. Tony will not accept it from you because it's just paper. You can have a stock that is selling about 5 naira today, and then they declare profits, and then something happened, or one scandal happened in that company. That stock will go from 5 naira, probably to 1 kobo. And why I am dwelling on these things is if you want to talk to a client to buy from you, these are the things that real estate will do for them. The land in your village and the land in Lagos are not the same. They're not the same. Yes, it's land. It's the same land, but it is not. Why are people investing into real estate? They invest into real estate because of business. So if the land I am buying in Lagos cannot give me this, I cannot risk my money. If you go to bank now to ask them anything above 10 million naira, they will ask you, Oga, bring your land documents. If your business is very good, that is when they will give you money below 10 million with your cash flow. But if you want to collect serious money, do serious business, now they'll ask you, what properties do you own? And your value as a man or as a woman is not calculated by shares you own, but by the land you own. Tax advantage. When you make a profit, don't keep it. Use it to buy land. You will not be taxed on land you buy. Any money you use in buying land, you will not be taxed on it. I said this thing on radio the other time. The banks understand this thing very well. If you watch at the bank's, balance sheet every year, now they declare they made how many billions, Zenith Bank and the UBA, the same thing. Now, by end of this year, they will slash that money into 2. That's why they call profit before tax and profit after tax. They will take a huge chunk of that money and invest it into real estate. Buy buildings, banks are more into real estate business than anybody. So they will use that money they made as profit and buy buildings and buy real estate. Or use it to develop their buildings or refurbish the buildings. Government will not tax them on those money. But when you sell a property, there's what they call property capital gain tax. That is when you can pay the government the money. So if you as a businessman, you are just doing business and you're happy seeing money moving to and fro from your account, you just open yourself up to tax officers to tax you properly. Because they are seeing the money, that money is not going anywhere. You buy stock today, you sell it. So there's some profit you need to pay them. You pay salary, you need to pay income tax, right? All of those things goes on. But if you take your profit as it has increased at every end of the year, and you now use it to buy real estate, the government will not ask you for tax. In fact, I will make a proposition that one day the government should start paying real estate developers. Because we're actually doing the work that the government is not doing. We were in a podcast last time, I think last week, sometime this month. I told them that real estate is one of the biggest employers of labor. At least in Nigeria, I know. Do you know how many ladies that real estate has taken out of the streets? Do you know how many people it's providing livelihood for? Like myself, there is nothing else that pay me today. At least somebody that has my history is here. There's nothing else that pays me today apart from real estate. So if I don't sell, my family will be hungry. If I don't sell, I will not pay house rent. If I don't sell, as someone was buying fuel in my car, I will not. So if real estate has been able to sustain me this well, that means there is something big in that business. You remember that land I told you I bought 3.5, right? I was owing somebody 15 million. And then I had to sell that land for 18 million to the person. He balanced me 3 million naira. I used one plot to pay 15 million naira. Meanwhile, I bought that land 3.5 million. Who made profit? You did. I did, right? So this is the things that real estate do for you. I was telling a friend of mine earlier this week, as you are selling land and selling property, please be buying. If you are telling clients, come and buy land, Dangote refinery, they here go say 20 million. If they get commission, they divide the commission, they buy. Because the truth is that once the company pays you commission, they are not owing you again. The person you are doing the biggest favor for are the people that are buying from you. For instance, in February, I sold a plot of land at Ikota GRA to someone, 90 million naira. Today, that man is almost finishing the construction of about 3 units of 5-bedroom duplexes. The first unit of it that is facing the road like this, he told me, he said, make I go look for clients. He will sell it 200 million naira. The two that are at the back, he's selling it 160 million naira each. So, land of 90 million, let's say he used 100 million naira to develop 3 of them. 90 plus 100 is how much? 190, right? 160 times 2 is 320, right? Plus another 200, that is 520, right? And you're telling me I shouldn't do real estate? So if that man made, probably, let's say it took him 1 year to build and sell that property. So he made over 300 million naira in 1 year. There is no importer. There is no importer today that can make that money once in a year. There is no. Except the likes of, Indomie. And you can watch the capacity Indomie, because see the amount of money they are trading with and see the profit they are making. So why they say that a business is profitable is when what you make out of the business is crazily insane. Because with cash or capital of about 200 million, let's even say 200 million, other expenses, let's say even doing documentation, in fact, let's even give him 250 million. Let's even give him 250 million naira using buying land and developing. I'm doing it to test. And the land is at a prime location. And he made 250 million. 250 million naira, if you see it in your account, probably this year, you can travel to any country you want this year. Live the largest life you want to live. Sleep in 5-star hotel. Like you go to Dubai now, you sleep in 5-star hotel. You go to America, sleep in 5-star hotel. Go anywhere, Marrakesh. Just think about it. That is how you will live until like the next, that you want to be wasteful, probably in the next 5 years. So guys, this is the business of the rich. And when you are talking to a client, this is things they are expecting to hear from you. Don't tell them, come and buy land, and what will land do for me? When they are telling you to come and buy, ladies that know what they call, there's this injection they give, and your skin will be glowing, right? Yeah. If they don't tell you that is what you do, once most girls know that this is what it does for them, they start saving money to go and do that injection. Is Botox they call it or something like that, right? Yeah? Glutathione. They will go and save money to just so that your skin will be glowing like something else. Sorry, next slide. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Now, what are the various ways of investing into real estate? Because some people will say, okay, now you have known what real estate is. How do I now invest into real estate? Number one is what we call land banking. Now, what is land banking? Land banking is buying properties in an underdeveloped area to resell it when that area has been developed. I think in 1998, there is no toll gate. There is not even Oriental Hotel. 4 Points, there was no 4 Points. The farthest place you can go, I think, is law school. In 1998. I was taking a man to inspection some months back. That man told me that anytime he passes Chevron, he used to cry. I told him why. And from my sales experience, I've interrogated with people or discussed people. Casmire, you can come in. I have discussed with a lot of persons. And, Proverbs said that the bane of an adult man, is regrets. If you hear opportunities people have missed, anytime they tell you to buy land, just buy it. This guy, he's chairman of medical devices dealers in Idumota. I think he told me between 2000 to 2005, they used to beg him to buy land after Chevron. If you are passing this Chevron road, it's only crab you'll be seeing. Crab. He said crab you'll be seeing on the road. He told me in 2006, this is Ikota land that we know. They told him buy a land there, 4 million naira. He told them it's expensive. That he doesn't want to buy water. Till today, at least, the one he told me, the land I helped him to buy, in fact, he's even regretting that he even bought late. Do you know when it is that to pass Chevron and you're only seeing crab? It's 1 lane, not 2 lane. Crab on the road. That means it's underdeveloped. So that is what land banking is. Many of us are taking people to Lekki today, taking people to Epe today. Epe will certainly be here. Like I said before, 20 years is not far. 20 years is just 2 presidents in Nigeria or 3 presidents in Nigeria. Or 3 elections or 4 elections. We'll see 20 years. And when Tinubu came, Buhari came, we are thinking, when would Buhari leave? Buhari have left, Abi. Tinubu just came. Tinubu will still leave. So if you don't take a decision today, Tinubu will be in government and leave. And you have still not taken that decision. Because when you start thinking that 5 years is far, 5 years, you that studied 6 years course, how long did it take you to graduate? No, let's talk about it. When he started school, like play, you don't graduate. And they say that 5 years course you do. It was like you close your eye and you open it. January was yesterday. And now we're in October because September don't go now. Tomorrow is the last day. Do you understand? So when we think that time is far, time is not far. Time is just as we are looking, like sleep and wake up, the time is gone. So land banking is another way people can invest into real estate. And I say it again, please, everybody who is here, you've not started selling real estate, please, when you start selling, Any commission they pay you, start paying small, small. Go and meet the company. Please tell them you want to even buy. Give me a longer payment term. Be paying small, small. Because if you are not buying what you are selling, you will be like the Aburu that is loading bus at Onitsha, Lagos. Oga, where is Lagos? He has never been to Lagos. Don't sell the future that you are not willing to participate in. In fact, I cannot sell a product until I believe in that product. I started selling a product and I was buying. And I have more than 1 acre in that place. Let me say about 10 plots, yes. I cannot be serving the poor, the rich forever. Me too, I want to be rich. It doesn't matter where you start. Even if it's half plot you can buy in that place, buy. With time, as people that you are marketing to, buy, and people take you serious when you tell them, I even own property here. You show them the documents, they will take you serious. They will see, even you have sense. That is when they will start bringing you into some conversations. When people know you own land, when people know that you own a land, they know you're a man. Your life just started. And like I said before, it is the business of the rich. Anybody who is in real estate is a wealthy man. Whether you are selling the land, selling the materials, the building materials, selling the land, or even selling a finished product. Now, let me give you an instance. We pay 5% for realtors that sell buildings, rather. And now you sell a building about 100 million. How many people earn 5 million in a year? I'm not saying once, in a year in Nigeria. They wake up every morning. They wake up by 5 or 6 and get home by 10. How many of them earn that money in a year? And you are telling me that realtors are not rich? We have some off-plan projects we'll show you. So what off-plan project is like? Coming into partnership with the developers when the project is about to start, such that by the end of that project, the building you have already bought would have increased in value immensely. For instance, a developer who is about building about 12 units of duplexes can start marketing the product. And you, as an interested person, buys into that place. Maybe, at that time, he's selling it for 50 million. Because he has done his costing. But Nigeria is a good place. There's something that Zenith Bank chairman said. He said that Nigeria is a place where you can make money in selling. He said the amount of money they have made in Zenith Bank, they have not made it anywhere in any country they are doing business except in Nigeria. If a developer starts building that property now, he calculated his cost at 4,500 or even 5,000 naira per bag of cement. And he jumps about 100% the price. If you bought that property when it was 15 million, eventually it will take him about 6 months to finish. And he finishes it when the bag of cement is now selling for 9,000. The price of that building will jump from 50 million to where? No, about 100 million. Because as cement is going up, other factors around cement will also go up. So you have just made 50 whooping million naira in 1 year. Just investing early in a business. And these are the things you need to tell people. This is how, there are two people cannot forget in their life. Anybody that ever made you lose money, you will never forget them until you die. And anybody who helps you to make crazy money, anything he brings to you, you buy. I have a client that bought a property we were marketing. He bought 10 plots. That property was selling 2.7 million naira that time, all inclusive, roughly about 2.8, 2.9. When he came back to them, he didn't know the place. He just sent his in-law to go and check the place. The guy went with me, wise man. They asked him, "Oga, come and check if this place is good." He went back to the guy and said that the place is good. That guy bought 10 plots. Today, when he now came back, we told him that plot is selling for 9 million naira. He said he missed an opportunity. We say, how? He said he had money to buy up to 20 or 25 plots. The person that he sent to come and check land, whether the land is good, bought, first of all, 2 plots in his name, used his wife's name and buy 2 plots, and used another person's name and buy 1 plot. Just go look whether this thing is good for me. The guy has made. So 5 plots by from 2.8 million to about 9 million naira. How much has that person made? Just come and help me. Just come and assist me. So real estate is crazy. That guy did land banking. And by that time, the place people will start building in this axis, that place would have been selling for like 20 million. But these are the land he bought for 2.8 million. Where I live today in Amu Odofin, there was a day we were doing landlords meeting. A major general, I think a major, is a major captain or something like that. He said that they bought land in that place 1997 for 200,000 naira. Today, if you come into the estate and tell person, I have 1 million naira, I want to buy, 10 million naira, and I want to buy 500 square meter, they will slap your face. Jokes apart, they will slap your face. So just imagine I say I throw away 200,000, and today, we were there one day. So another man said that his friend, in fact, what even made him, he was living in Abuja. So he came to see his friend in Lagos. That his friend now said, somebody told him that they are selling land around that Amu, that let them go and check it. They got there. The guy that brought him said he's not buying, that the place is water. That man closed eye and bought 2 plots of land. He's retired now. Front of his shop, in front of his house, he has about 10 shops. And he's living well. He's retired. You know that age is no longer on his, I think he's about 60s, but he's not under pressure. I was on radio interview. I tell people what kills a man faster is financial burden. When a man has a bill of 5 million and he does not know where to get it, 5 million is too much. A bill of 1 million naira and you don't know where to get it, there's not 5 people you can borrow to 200,000 naira from to make 1 million. You will die out of BP because school fees is there to pay and you cannot afford it. This one is there and you cannot afford it. And check it, as you are getting older, your bill as a human being keeps increasing. Now, imagine as a man, you now marry, the kingdom come, you come born twins. So there are things that salary cannot do for you. There are things salary, I'm telling you the actual facts. Nobody ever became rich or wealthy from salary. Yes, I'm not saying you should resign and start doing business. So there are salary earners. If you check their real estate portfolio, you go mad. That a man comes back to the house and madam is happy is because madam knows that the egg don't finish. You will say, how much do you need? This is a hard reality. You come house, your wife is grumbling, and she tell you, I am having a headache. It's because she don't think there is bill to pay, but there's no how to get the money. She will be grumbling. Even you as a man will be grumbling self. You will touch her and say, come on, friend. If she see you, she will just lose network. The only land I know my dad had was where he was doing business in Timber Shade in Enugu, and then where we live in the village. He was caretaker because he was so good. The owner of the house, he was the one that supplied the building materials they used in building the house. The man gave him an apartment and now made him the caretaker for... My dad was caretaker for 20 years. But he didn't own a real estate. I don't know whether he has or we didn't know. But the one I know. The shops, I think 2 shops where he's doing business, or 3 shops, and then where we live in the village. He built house for all his siblings to live in. All of them are living in the same building. He trained this person. He believed in, let us develop the human beings. It is good. I'm not saying that's bad. But as a developing human being, be buying something for the future. Because if I train this guy, he may be my brother. God forbid he marries a wrong wife. I'm just being as real as reality here. You understand what I mean? You have a good intention. He will like you. Both of you have never quarreled until you marry, he marries. That is when you know whether you love your brother or you don't like your brother. So another form of real estate, empty land purchase. I think I mentioned this. You can buy empty land in a developing area and then secure it. You can buy a complete building. Then you can also do buy and build, just like the one I told you. A guy who is investing about 190 million and 100 million and is getting about 300 million naira in about 1 year. Even me is so marveled about the progress. Now, mediums of investments or medium of investments. So there are payment plans. So you can start with initial deposits, payouts in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months. Then you can do co-ownership. So I can say, Dr. Testimony and Casmire, I have this land at Admiralty. This land is going for 300 million, but what I have is about 100 million. I know you're a rich man, bring 100 million, let's buy this place. By the time we finish developing this place without 300 million naira, we'll sell this place for about 1 billion. And it is happening. That is why when people, I'm not trying to be tribalistic, but let me give you an insight. Any business you see Igbo man doing, go and do that business. The day an Igbo man understood that there is money in buying and selling, build and sell, many of them left importation. Because how much are you making from importation? You will use 15 million and go to market and bring the goods inside Nigeria. You cannot say, better you make money, 20 million. 20 million, you will not see it in bulk. People that you supply to will owe you. Before you finish, by the time you finish selling that one container, 1 year has passed, or even 6 months have passed. That 15 million, you may even use it to do importation only 2 times, and you're making how much? Say you do jazz or you do magic, 20 million naira profit. But you use 100 million and go and start build and sell. And then in 1 year, you are making almost 200 million naira. Stupidly, as a money that you cannot explain. Crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is a project that there's a building project and I say, okay, this is a cooperative. I say, okay, please, cooperative, we have a building project that currently they're selling it for 10 million, but I want us to put our funds together and then let us crowdfund. So Cass can bring 5,000, he can bring 5,000, she can bring 5,000, you can bring 2,000, this person can bring 2,000, and then we put our funds together. By the time we put our funds together, we are doing what? Crowdfunding. So when we now do crowdfunding and we sell the property, the profit we make in it, we'll share it according to contribution. So if you brought 5,000, your percentage will be different from person that brought 10,000 naira. And your percentage will be different from person that brought 20,000. So that is what is called crowdfunding. Then also, this is cooperative society. There are cooperative societies today, existing ones, that can say, okay, we will be deducting 10,000 from your salary every year, every month. And then in a process of 5 years, that money you have saved with cooperative, will now use it and buy real estate. So this is how cooperative functions. Maybe cooperatives in banks, in churches, or in schools, or in offices. Now, another part of minimum investment is also outright. You can say, okay, they tell you this building is going for 50 million. I say, okay, how much is the commission? 10%, Abi. So by the time I calculate everything, it's coming up to 60 million. I count 50 million, I give you, I pay, and I come out. So these are the medium you can use to invest into real estate, or how you can enter into real estate. The next slide. Now, let me enter into this fact, because many people don't understand these differences. Land sizes and measurements. There are 3 aspects to it. There is what we call plots, there's what we call acres, and there's what we call hectares. Now, an hectare is one of the least known metric units, and one which potential buyers and estate developers seems to struggle with. It is a land measuring 100 meters by 100 meters, or 328 feet by 328 feet, or 10,000 square meter. Or you can call it 15 plots. 15 plots that are together is 1 hectare. Please don't confuse it. 15 plots that are together is called hectares. An acre is a standard unit of measurement used by land sellers, and it is almost important to the size, it is almost equivalent to the size of a standard football pitch. So every football pitch you see is about 6 plots, is an acre. An acre is a product of any rectangular plot of land giving a total of 4,046 square meters. I can't see that part. Or 6 plots. any 6 plots, standard plots, maybe 50 by 60 by 120 is called an acre. 6 plots of 60 by 120 is what is called an acre. And then in Lagos, a standard plot size is 60 by 120. So one plot is 60 by 120. So when we are telling you what's the size of the plot, it's called 60 by 120. But when developers buy the land, so this 60 by 120 is called 600 square meters. But when developers are selling, some of them sell with these units, 600 square meters, that's 60 by 120, or they sell 500 square meters, which is 50 by 100. So you need to understand this. So when somebody tell you, what's the plot size? Is it 600 square meter or 500 square meter? Or I tell you 60 by 120. You know, 60 by 120 is 600 square meters. And then 500 square meter is 50 by 100. And then with that, half plots in Lagos can be 300 square meter. Do you understand? That is 30 by 60. Or, what do you call it? 25 by 52. 25 by 50. That's 250 square meters. So half plots can come in 300 square meters or 250 square meters. So please, these are important. And you need to have these things at the back of your hands so that when you talk to people, they will see how intelligent that you are about the business you do. And I said it before, what makes people to want to do business with you is not about what you say. It is how you say what you are saying. If I'm talking to you about coming to this place, giving you direction about coming to this building, and I am not sure, and I'm talking to you, you know I'm not sure. You don't even need a prophecy to tell me. The way I'm sounding, you will know that this guy doesn't know what in the talk. But there's a way I will speak to you about what I'm saying. Say, no. Do you understand? So you need to have this. So because this is what makes people to make a decision to buy with you. I tell people, if I talk to a client and he doesn't pay, it's because he doesn't have money, or basically he doesn't have money. Even if he doesn't want to buy now, he tell me to wait. So don't take me to a client that have money to buy. I will sell that building. That is how good it is. Because it is the gift that I have honed, that anything I am sure of, I will tell it to you that I'm sure of it, and you will know that I'm very sure about what I'm saying. Now, types of titles and documents for Lagos State, or for real estate in Lagos State. I'm using Lagos as a case study, so there are some things that are applicable in Lagos that may not be applicable to other states. But Lagos is our focus. And I tell people, no matter what you do, Lagos will still be economic capital of Nigeria. Registered survey plan, contract of sales, deed of assignments, family excision, gazette, certificate of occupancy, governor's consent, and government allocation. These are titles of lands that you get in Lagos State. Registered survey is an important aspect of every land transaction. Registered survey is an X-ray of a land. You know when they say go and do X-ray, and you bring an X-ray, X-ray tells everything that is in your body. So a registered survey shows everything that you own or how the land is. Do you understand? A survey plan is a document that measures the boundary of a land to give accurate measurement and description of that land. A survey plan is a document that measures the boundary of a parcel of land to give accurate measurement and description of that land. Legally speaking, a registered survey is not a title to land. However, a registered survey is an important document in land transactions, and it gives credence to the land for a number of reasons. So if you see a survey plan, there are details that is available or that is on that survey plan. So you carry your name, the owner of the land, you carry the location where the land is existing, it will carry the boundary. So if the land is in front of a road, you will see how it is. If it is chamfer like this, you will see it. If it is a square shape, you will see it. If it is rectangular, if it is triangular, you will also see it in that survey plan. Now, it will also carry the location where the land is located. So second, it shows the land in question is free from government acquisition. So mostly, Every land that has a registered survey, you cannot register a land that government have interest in. Somebody can just show you a survey plan that is a provisional survey plan. Every registered survey plan will have the stamp of the Surveyor General of Lagos State. So if you don't know, any name you see there, if you don't know, Google the name or find out from somebody else. Any land that has government acquisition, you cannot register the survey. So if they give you a survey of that land, it shows that that land is not registered. But if it is registered, it means that it is free from government acquisition. Now, these are some of the terms we need to know. Government acquisition, committed, and then free. These are some of the things you need to know the differences between three of them. There are no encumbrances on that land, and the land can be freely bought from the rightful owner. A survey plan enables the reader to ascertain the size and shape of the property. I've said this before. The location of right of ways. Easements, that's the roads, how the road is, if it is on a T-junction, if it is a corner piece, all of these things. That is what a survey plan will show you. Dimensions and distances to the boundaries of the house, shared fences, utilities, and any other features. Every registered survey plan must have one, like I said, the name of the owner of the land surveyed. So if the land belongs to me, you will see my name on it. If it belongs to a family, you will see the name of the family on that survey plan. If it belongs to anybody, whoever it belongs to, you see the name there, the address and the description of the land, where the land is located. So if it is Ogombo, the village is in Ogombo, so you will see the description of that. It's very important you know all these things. So if they give you a survey plan that is not in the location they took you, you can know that they want to play your juror. The size of the land surveyed. So if it is 400 square meters, 450 square meters, you will see it there. And then the drawn out portions of the land, it will be mapped on the survey plan. The beacon number as well will be mentioned on that survey plan. The surveyor who surveyed the land would put his own stamp on it, and then Surveyor General of Lagos State will also put his own stamp on it. So every registered surveyor, so there are surveyors, but there are also registered surveyors. So every registered surveyor has a stamp from surveyor, I think the association in Lagos State or wherever you are dealing, whether in Lagos, whether in Enugu or wherever. 9 ways to know a survey plan is genuine. Check the name on the survey. It should have the name of the owner of the property on it. That is the first thing you should check. A registered seal of the surveyor. I said that before. If that person is a registered surveyor, he will have the stamp, the seal. But if he doesn't have it, he knows the person is just a regular surveyor. He's not recognized amongst the association. Survey plan number. Every survey plan has a different number. No two survey plans can have the same number. But a land can have multiple survey plans. So let me give you an instance. Am I confusing you? I'm confusing you now, right? Okay, Mom, let me make it clear for you. A land, so this land now, let me say, here I'm standing is a land. Let's say it is 600 square meters, right? It can have multiple survey plans. So let me give an instance. This is High Chief Casmire, the Oba Atanda of Iborodu in Ibeju local government. He's the Oba of that village. This is their inheritance, right? Now, they did the first survey on this land, this same land. And then me, who is a real estate developer, now said, Oba, I beg, we won't buy land though. Sell this land for us. Oba land told me what to take me to buy the land. We did the transaction. I paid to Oba. Oba land said, okay, I've given you a deed of assignment. Which is what I'm going to tell you. But before that deed of assignment will be registered and recognized, the name, that's my name. So my name is Mr. Jackson. I need to do another survey plan of this same land carrying Mr. Jackson's name. So I will register it. Now, the one Oba registered has a different survey plan number. Now I'm re-registering the land again to now carry Mr. Jackson's name. And once I register it with Alausa, the state government, I will have a different registration number. So that number on this survey plan must match with the name on the deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is one of the most important aspects of documents you need in land transaction. So it shows that Oba have transferred to me permanently the rights of ownership of that property. Now, there is what they call deed of conveyance. Sorry, deed of conveyance, yes. Deed of assignment, and let me remember the third one. Deed of lease. They are not the same. A deed of lease means that Oba is leasing this land to me for 20 years. And I'm going to use this land for 20 years. After 20 years, my lease has ended. Oba will enter back into his land and collect his land. But a deed of assignment shows that forever and ever, it is mine. And that's what they say that the assigner has transferred permanently to the assignee. So he's the assigner. Assigner is the seller or the owner. Assignee is the buyer. So the assignment, that deed of assignment shows that he has given to me permanently that land to own it forever. Now, Mr. Jackson has bought that land with deed of assignment and a new survey plan, right? And then, Mommy G.O. now said, Mr. Jackson, I heard you are selling land. I say, yes. Okay, how many plots do you have here? I have 20 plots. Okay, Mr. Jackson, give me half plots. Give me half of the 20 plots you are buying. Now, on that 20 plots, I had a new survey plan, right? You now bought. I will now give you, we bought half of it. I give you deed of assignment, give you contract of sale, give you receipt of purchase, right? You now went and do another survey plan and registered that survey plan to match with the name on that deed of assignment I've given to you. The same land, but multiple survey plans. Now, a land transaction cannot be registered in a government or with the government without a registered survey. So, registered survey is the beginning of the land transaction. It is the entry into the land transaction. And it must be important. So the names must be consistent. The name on the survey plan should be the name that will be on the deed of assignment, which is what they are going to use to process your C of O, or give you governance consent, or give you government allocation. So these are the things. So it's very important. So these are some of the things we need to check. So, okay, survey plan number must be on the survey plan. You can use it to check ownership of that land. So when I give you a survey plan, that survey plan, a registered survey plan should have a number. So when you touch that number on the survey plan, it gives me an information on this land. So it will show me that this survey plan came from Mr. Jackson, that came from survey plan from Oba. Do you understand what I mean? So it gives you a history on the land, and it's very important in land transaction. Make sure the size of the land is correctly written on the plan. Every survey plan shows the number of the plots. So the size of the land, if it is 500 square meters, 700 square meters, 10,000 square meters, it will be, sometimes some of these numbers have digits. It could be 9,000.005 square meters. That 0.005 means a lot of things. Without that number, your land is not complete. Then check the beacon number. The beacon number on that land must also appear on the survey plan. If you have some numbers written on 4 blocks, okay, these beacon numbers are, so what is a beacon? A beacon shows the 4 edges of a land. So if that's where I am standing now, from here to here, so a beacon should be here, a beacon should be there, a beacon should be there, a beacon should be there. But what most people do is that they put beacon in one place. Most families, anyways, in Lagos, they put beacon in one place, and then they now tell you from here, you now measure to, if that land is 600 square meters, from where the first beacon is, you now measure straight in your face to see the next beacon. But every land originally must have a beacon number. That's very important. Then take the survey to the Lagos State General Office to confirm if this, the survey plan is registered. Next slide. That's what they call it, land charting. So when I'm charting a land, I'm taking this survey plan to take. So this is actually, I hope this is clear. So this is actually how a survey plan is. I have it in my phone. So this is a seal. This is the name, where the name of the person that owns the survey plan will be. So this is the land here. You see, are you seeing my hands? From here to here is the land. From here to here is the land. Then this is a road. So it's showing that a road passed through this land like this. So this is a rectangle shape. Do you understand? So it has more width. It has more length than width. But some other ones will show you that this place has more width than length. Do you understand? So it's inverted rectangle. So this is just a normal rectangle like this. So the road pass like this. So the land will be like this, then the road will also come like this. Then if you look here, this is where the plan number is. This is the plan number. This is a seal. And then this is signatures. Then this is also stamp. Do you understand? And then this is where you have some numbers as well. This is also some of the numbers. What is contract of sale? A contract of sale is an agreement between a seller and a buyer. The seller agrees to sell and to deliver or sell something to a buyer for a set price that the buyer has agreed to pay. With these contracts, the transfer of ownership happens when the buyer pays and the seller delivers. So in land transaction, once I show Mommy G.O. a land and say, oh, this land is beautiful. In fact, I'm going to build hospital here. And she say, how much? I tell her 15 million. Where is the account? We send account. The first thing she gets immediately after payment is acknowledgement of payment receipt and this contract of sale. So this contract of sale will carry in details the duration is going to take for that payment to be done, or the terms and conditions actually. How, if it's single payment, if it is one-time payment, all those details are stated in the contract of sale. Do you understand? Now, this is the first document issued to a land buyer who paid for a property, and it carries terms and conditions for the purchase. Upon completion of the payment, the buyer is given a deed of assignment from the direct owner of the land. So, what shows, first of the things that shows that I had a transaction with you is this contract of sale. That will be accompanied with a receipt of payment, which means a receipt acknowledging the payments that you made. And this shows that you are buying a land from me. So in this contract of sales, it will also tell you how I inherited that land or how I got into that land business. So for instance, if I'm a developer, but I bought a land from a village, it will be showing in that contract of sale that I bought this land from so-so village at so-so time. Do you understand? And they have also given me the authority to sell this land permanently, to own this land permanently, and I can sell it. So that is what contract of sale does. Then deed of assignment, like I said before, a deed of assignment is an agreement between the seller of a land or property and a buyer of that land or that property, showing evidence that the seller has transferred all his rights, his titles, his interest and ownership of that land to the person that bought the land. So for instance, when somebody sells a land to you, he sold his rights, direct rights, his inheritance rights, even his managers of his estates rights to ever come to disturb you. So that's why I gave differences between a deed of lease and a deed of assignment. So a deed of assignment is a permanent transfer of rights or transfer of ownership to a land or to a property. But a deed of lease is a temporal, so it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years. But as long as that lease ends, they will now come and take the property from you. So anytime you see a deed of assignment, you know it's a permanent transfer. Do you understand? A deed of assignment, therefore, is an agreement where an assigner, I said it before, seller, states his promise that from the day of this assignment or any date stipulated therein, the assigner assigns his ownership in that land to the assignee, the buyer. So any date on that transaction showed the date the ownership was transferred to another person. In a deed of assignment, it will carry the location, the exact land, and then the square meter, and also the coordinates of the land will also be stated in that deed of assignment, so that you will know when the particular place of land. So if it's an expanse of land, from that coordinate, you will know where your land actually falls into. Do you understand? In most cases, when the deed of assignment has been exchanged between both parties, it has to be recorded in the land registry to show legal proof that the land has exchanged hands, and the public should be aware of this transaction. So at the back of every deed of assignment, I didn't come with one, but I might show you from here. At the back of every deed of assignment, you will see where they left a space where a governor will sign, and also the persons in charge or the land registry will also sign. So once you finish a transaction, you have registered a deed of registered a survey plan, and then you collect that register, and it's now a registered survey plan. You now carry it with your deed of assignment. You now go to land registry. I want to register this deed of assignment. It's showing that So when they register it, they will capture that coordinate of that land in your name. Even if it was bearing Oba's name, and it went from Oba to me, then to Mommy G.O. So from land registry, they will know that, Oba owns this land because they registered it in Oba's name first. He now moved to Mr. Jackson, and then he now moves to me. So if Mommy G.O. now decide to send it to King, it will also carry King's name. So King will also need to register her own. So if you buy and you didn't register, and you chart that land, it will only carry Mommy G.O.'s name. So when you chart a land, and the details that comes up on that land shows the most current person's name that is registered on that land. So if you want to find a detail on a land, registered survey or the coordinates of the land is what you need. Then a deed of assignment is one of the most important documents you must have when you conclude a land transaction. So when you finish paying for a land, so if for people that are paying instrumental, you are paying instrumentally. So the only thing that will be given to you when you start paying instrumentally is receipt of payments, acknowledgement of receipt, and then contract of sale. So upon completing your payments, you get an allocation. After allocation, they now give you a deed of assignment. That deed of assignment is now what shows that this land now belongs to you. You have completed your payments, and now this land belongs to you. So you now take that survey plan they gave you, register survey plan, and now go and register this in the land registry in Lagos State. So that land, even if it is 200 acres, that portion that carries your coordinates will now be registered against your name. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? How many people will buy land after this transaction? Hi, these people have little faith. Oh. Hi. See, do you know why your mouth is in front? Do you know why your mouth and your eyes is in front? Anything you speak, this your eyes will see it. Anything. See, God is very intentional. Why he did not put your mouth at the back and put your eyes in front is because here and here must be seen the same direction. If you are anything, maybe in your account now, you are not seeing 5,000. And that's how many people buy land here, and you're not raising your hand. Hi, Jesus. How many people buy land here? Even if you don't need to know how to make the money, just believe. I'm not here to do motivational speaking, but this is how life functions. Before you got here, you told somebody, I'm coming to this place, Abi. Is it not true? This is a factual truth. Before you got here, you told your brother or your wife, I'm going to Workcity, Abi. Are you at Workcity? Because you said this is where I'm going to. So if your mouth speak where you want to go, it will carry you there. Now, village excision. This is also another title. Now, I want us to understand, registered survey is not a title. Like I said. But it is an integral part. Any land that has a registered survey means that land is free from government acquisition. It means that the land is good to buy. That's basically what it means. But this is now, and deed of assignment is also not a title. Deed of assignment is a transfer of right, is a proof of ownership for people that owns a car. You know, what's the proof that you own a land or you own this car? Police will ask you, what's your proof of ownership? You go bring your documents. Proof of ownership is registered against your name. That is what a deed of assignment is, and also contract of sale. So, survey plan, deed of assignment, and contract of sale, they are not titles. But this is a title. We call it family excision or village excision. Excision is a process or means that the land in question is still in the course of unconstrained apportion and granted to the indigenous people by the government. When you say that the land has excision, it means that that land is being given to, because by the Land Use Act of 1978, every land in every state was given to the state governor of that state. Every land, by the way constitution. And that for family excision to exist, it means that government said, okay, Oba, all the land in this your village belong to us by the law, right? But it is your land by inheritance. So we are going to excise this land. So what it means by excise is to cut off. So this land may be 50 hectares, and we need to excise it. So government will say, okay, we may need to do a development in this place in the nearest future. So we'll collect 1 hectare, and they will now give you 49 hectares. So we'll now cut off that land. They do this with coordinates. So they will mark the coordinates of the whole place and remove 1 hectare from it. The remaining 49, they will register that coordinate against that family's name. Do you understand? By the government, and the government will not give it to the village. So things you must know about excision. Excision is only given to a family, indigenous family. No individual, no excision carries an individual's name. So it must carry a name of a village for it to be family or village excision. So it must carry the name of a family of that village, family in that village, or the entire village will carry that excision. Is it making sense? Yes. And one thing about this is that it shows that government has given this family this land permanently. They will not interfere. We will not come into this land to say this land is committed, though there's government acquisition. The government has interest. When they say that land has government acquisition, it means that it's a land that government has marked out for a project in the future. Now, one thing about family excision is that you don't need to do C of O on that land. So, for instance, Oba, Oba, I want to buy land now. Give me 20 acres. Oba now gave me 20 acres. From this land, I have family excision. The only thing I now need to do is, because I have changed my survey plan, you know, they had 49, Abi. He now sold 20 to me, right? So from that 20, they will cut off that 20 from that 49. I'm now going to register a survey plan with that 20 that they sold to me. So with that 20 that they sold to me, I will now go and register it to land registry. That land people gave Obao, he gave me 29 out of it. This is the survey plan for it. Then they will now register it as either governor's consent or as gazette. Do you understand what it means? So gazette, if you want to change the name on that 20, what I mean governor's consent is changing of name on the document. So the land I bought from Oba, because I need it to carry my name and register it. So can be registered as gazette that this land decision that we sold to Oba sold to Mr. Jackson, 20 out of it. So gazette is like registering that document in a file and putting it in a newspaper. That is what a gazette means. Any land that has family decision does not expire. So what it means is that after 99 years, I'll go to Mr. Sanwo-Olu. This land has expired. The survey has expired though. I'm still the owner of the land. You now gave you another bill to renew that C of O. But if a land has family excision, is until thy kingdom come, until we finish from earth and go, he will not change the title. You just keep changing the name as gazette, changing the name. So once you change name, you publish it in newspaper, change name and publish in newspaper, and then you carry the same coordinates. So any land that has excision is a very good land, but it must carry the family name or the village name. No excision carries an individual's name. If you see an individual name on an excision, you know now Ojoro. Now, what is the difference between an excision or gazette? Excision as it applies to land means that land, usually a large portion, is free from government acquisition. And gazette is an official record book where all special government details, including land, are spelled out, detailed and recorded. So when you say that a land is gazetted, it's still the same thing as excision. But excision are now published in the public place. Sorry, gazette rather are now made public, but published in a government document. Do you understand? That is what a gazette is, but two of them are almost the same thing. A gazetted land is a recorded excision. Is it making sense now? After a while, an excised portion of land subsequently recorded in the government official journal is called the gazette. This is recognized land title. So you can say that this land has gazette. It means that it has excision, but it's now recorded. A gazette is an official record of bulletin that is periodically published by the government. In many places, government gazettes are used to publish public or legal notices. So that's why I say, and then those documents, I used to tell people, your land is as good as the title it has. So in real estate, what we actually do, we don't sell land, we sell papers. Let me not confuse you. So if I am selling a land, and that land has, the document of that land is good, it means that the land I have is good. For instance, we are dragging land, get documents, go they build for the land. One thing about land documents is that they can be processing that land document, you won't know. And they don't publish notices that this land, somebody can enter a bush, collect coordinates of a land, and go and do title on it. As long as it is not your own, even if you have the document on that land, it doesn't belong to you. So your land is as good as the document he has. So if he has a bad document, you don't have a land. But if you have a land and you have a good document, that means you are the actual landlord. So certificate of occupancy, this is what many of us know, C of O. Now, a certificate of occupancy is a legal document issued by the government that proves that a person owns a land in Nigeria. So virtually everywhere in Nigeria you will see certificate of occupancy. But in some locations like Abuja, you have a R of O. What do they call it again, Matthew? Right of occupancy. So usually more in Abuja. So that's why you have many of those that in that place. Because what it means in that place, where you usually have right of O, are in places where government actually dominates in ownership of those lands. So if you go to FCDA, they are the ones that give people allocations. So the FCDS gives you C of O, but the municipals give you right of O. So municipals are like local governments. So if a local government of this Etiosa local government, you bought a land from them, they can give you right of R of O. But FCDA can wake up tomorrow and say, Etiosa local government, why did you give this man R of O? They can collect it and revoke the title. But Etiosa cannot go to FCDA and revoke the title. Are you seeing the power play there? So these are things you need to know, because sometimes when people converse with you, they need to know the knowledge of the business you have. And I learned from my mentor that he was saying that many a times why people fail in business, which is truth, is that we don't invest in the knowledge of the business. So before you venture into any business, invest into the knowledge of that business. If I'm talking with a lawyer now, there are some lawyers that doesn't have information about real estate as much as I do. There are some people who tell you, it is when you sit a lawyer down and you are telling him the nitty-gritties, he understands. And you need to know, there are lawyers, it's not every lawyer that is in real estate. And you should not let them, those ones that doesn't know anything about real estate, they just know about arranging documents. They are different from the actual real estate lawyers. Anytime somebody is conversing, ask the lawyer first, what is your area of interest as a lawyer? So it could be into litigation, it could be into corporate law, and then somebody now say, because you're a lawyer, come and do agreement for me. It doesn't work like that. So that kind of person will be confused about some things. It's just that they will understand a legal document more. So a certificate of occupancy is a land title document given to a person as an official document of owners of land in Nigeria. Without a C of O, a piece of land or other property can be taken at any time without any sort of compensation. So if this land has a C of O, and tomorrow they say they want to do 10 lanes on this Lekki Expressway, and they brought this building down. Before they will bring this building down, the governor will need to call the owner of this property. We will sit down at a round table. I will tell you the price of my property. You will pay me, then you demolish. Every land that has C of O, if the governor wakes up by mistake and now say, Caterpillar, go there and demolish it, governor, you can sue the governor for the rest of his life. So it's a legal title that is recognized in Nigeria. Do you understand? And it is what gives what you own, and then government can give you compensation. There are some land that just have only registered survey. It doesn't mean that they are bad. It's just that the person that owns it did not want to go and apply for this. So those land, government can wake up tomorrow and demolish it. Nothing will come out of it. You will drag. But a land that has excision, before government can enter there, you need to call the family to a meeting. Excision and C of O. Government needs to sit down with those people and ask them for permission. We want to do a project on this land. It's your inheritance, but what are you going to take from us to be able to use this place as so and so? Do you understand? I learned that is what is holding the Fourth Mainland Bridge. They are doing a lot of settlements in that axis because of people that their land passed around that area. The C of O prevents the government from taking your land, without compensation. Having a C of O increases the value of one's land. Do you understand? I think I mentioned this. Now, a deed of assignment is the crucial document used by a land seller and the buyer to prove ownership. I've said this thing before. While a C of O merely states the holder has the exclusive possession of the land.
Sir,
yes?
so we federal CFO as it happens in Ikoyi.
Yes, yes.
And then state CFO.
Yes. Why is like that is, let me give you an instance. You know, Lagos used to be the capital of Nigeria, right? And Ikoyi used to be government reserved area. Do you understand? So when I say government reserved area, because it was federal government that used to be here, those CFO came directly from the federal government. So now, government has now moved to Abuja, but most of those CFOs has not expired. Do you understand? So Lagos State now is now saying, because this land is on our land, this land is in Lagos State, and you people have left Lagos State, Abi, to do federal capital territory. Kukuma give us our land now. Do you understand? So it's just a power tussle. Do you understand? Because Lagos State it only happens in Lagos State where there is federal CFO and there is a state CFO. Yes?
The question I want to ask is concerning that the 99 years of the CFO.
Yeah.
Because I think currently there's an issue going on.
Okay.
So the family that sold the land
Yeah.
and the people that sold it have already developed.
Okay.
Then gotten to 100 years now, the family come back that they want to sell the land.
Yeah, that's also another angle to it. Because what it means that after 99 years, that land belongs to you. But because if you can produce your deed of assignment that gave that person a permanent ownership on that land, the only thing that they do, they can give you rebates to repay. So that's why sometimes excision is better. A land that has excision and gazette usually is better than a land that has CFO. But if the family has that memory, some families have long memory to keep till 99 years and the rest of it. That is when you can say, okay, after 99 years, we take our... So when they come to that, you can negotiate and you bring that deed of assignment. Because they signed deed of assignment to you, and that deed of assignment, they gave you permanent ownership. So that's why you need to understand, if it was deed of lease, like in the Oniru, most land in the Oniru, what they give is deed of lease. They don't give deed of assignment in Oniru. Because of the family. Do you understand? So when you are buying, know what you are buying. And most of the times, two land cannot have the same CFO. that's the next slide I'm going to now. Two land cannot have the same CFO. Sorry, cannot have two different CFOs. So a land can have CFO. So maybe the CFO was given to you at year 2000, and I'm buying it at 2023, right? That means you have spent 23 years out of that 99 years. So 99 years minus 23, we have about 70. No, 70. 76. 76. So I still have 76 years to. Yes, no. 23 minus 99. Yes. So it's 76. So which means that the validity of that CFO in my hand is just 76 years old. So after 76 years, the CFO is gone. So, but if you do governor's consent, you will only change the name on that CFO to your own name. It does not mean that they will start counting that 99 years afresh again. You just continue counting upward. Is it making sense? Yes. So the time you bought that land, they continue counting that number. So if you bought it when it was 50 years gone, you only have 44 years to live. So that's one thing that people should understand about CFO.
So I came across some apartments selling, and the title on it is deed of sublease.
Okay.
So now I'm wondering, does it mean after the sublease expires, so that the company's ownership on that land expires?
Yes.
So you can't do it.
Yes.
So buying that kind of property is risky.
Yes. It's why we are doing this kind of trainings. So if you are buying sublease, what it means is that the land belongs to him. Do you understand? Yes. I now went into joint venture with him. So now he owns the land, right? We went into joint venture. He said, Oga, I'm giving you this land for 50 years. You will pay me. You will develop the land. If you like, sell the buildings on it. Do whatever, lease the building on it. Once he clocks 50 years, I'll come and collect the land. So anything you own on that, anybody that bought that kind of property knows that that building can only be there for 50 years. So this is the ways people can make money from real estate. It's not only when you buy and sell. It's not only, do you understand? So it's a business that has many avenues for you to make money from.
So is there any provision for someone who buys that kind of house? Is there any provision to protect the person when the landlord takes over?
There's no protection. You are only protected for the number of years on that your sublease. So that means when you are reading a contract, read it properly. So that's why I said be watchful for deed of assignment and deed of lease. So this is a copy of a certificate of occupancy. If you notice, this is how every C of O will look like, and then it carries. This is where the number would be. So C of O numbers are like is page that the publication was done. C of O is just making public the information that the land belongs to you. And in every land transaction, two people you should not play with is a surveyor, registered surveyor to be precise, and a lawyer. If it's a legal agreement and you need a CTC, a lawyer goes to the law court, maybe appeal court or Supreme Court, whatever, to print out CTC. People can do mago and change some pages, but when you bring certified true copy, it shows the full judgment on that land. When a land has a C of O or has a title, but that land was in contention, and eventually they got settlement on that land, or they get a judgment on that land. That judgment they got on that land supersedes the title that land has. For instance, Oba sold land to me. Abi? We bought it genuinely from Oba. Maybe Oba went sabbatical leave in Toronto. The second wife then brought the first son to sell to Mama G.O. Because Oba is the rightful owner that must sign the deed of assignment. They now went to cook my Oba's signature, Abi. And I want to start building. Mama G.O. say, no be you get the land. I go say, na me get the land. No be you get the land. We begin, so we sue. I now sue Oba. You sold a land that is in contention between, to me rather. Now, Oba will now say, I sold the land to you now. Check the date I bought the land and check the date this person bought the land. The same land though, but different signatures and different dates. Even if they do the same dates. But because Oba is the rightful signatory to that land transaction, any other signatory cannot sign that document. Every family have appointed signatories. Every family, if you are buying from family, every family has appointed signatories. Usually there are 4, sometimes there are 5. Usually the family, the Olorebi, and then the secretary of the family, and maybe 1 or 2 persons, if they have a committee of land sales or whatever. So usually some are 2, some are 3, some are 4. But the only signatories that are entitled to sign that document must sign it. So if he carries any other signature, even if he carries 2 original and 2 fake, as long as that 4 is not complete, that land was not engineered. Eventually, we now drag it from state court, magistrate court, all the way to Supreme Court. That judgment they gave that said that I am the rightful owner of this place supersede that C of O that Lala has. But it does not mean that if they have used 20 years out of that C of O, that I will start from 001. No. The number of years will be counting. But the only thing that it may happen that when I bought the land and when I started using it because it was under contention, I may ask for an extension. So if I bought it in 1999 and we were dragging, nobody could build there. We went to build, they throw stone, we started fighting and the rest of it. It took me 10 years or 15 years to get access to that land. I can now appeal to the Supreme Court to ask the state government to give me additional 15 years that I lost on that land. So this is a governor's consent. A governor's consent is just, in a literal sense, change of ownership. So when somebody tells you a land has governor's consent, it shows that that person selling that land is not the first owner of that land. So I told you guys from beginning that a land can have many survey plans, the same way with governor's consent. But usually, a land that has governor's consent had C of O before. Do you understand? A land that has governor's consent had C of O before. And then I bought from Oba. Oba said to Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson now said to Mama G.O. So Mama G.O. now bought his own. Okay, and if I buy, I need to change it to my name. Oh. So if I buy from Oba, the C of O is still bearing Oba's name. Now, it is expected when I buy from Oba, I'll go and do change of name. You know, I did a new survey plan, Abi. Now, I need to carry the deed of assignment with that registered survey and go to governor and tell governor, Oba that have CFO has sold this land to me. Oh. Please, I need it to be changed in my name. Because Oba signed my deed of assignment and Oba is the rightful owner of that land, governor can accept to change that CFO to governor's consent. So governor's consent is that the land former name has changed to the new name of the new buyer. Do you understand? But now, I decided that, the money to pay for this governor's consent, 3 million, I no get them. And then I now sold to Mommy G.O. Now, remember that the deed of assignment they used in selling to me was carrying my name, Abi. Now, and I also need to give Mommy G.O. another deed of assignment showing that me sold to Mommy G.O. But mistakenly, I didn't do that, right? It now means that I will now carry Mommy G.O. and say, Mommy G.O., this is the man that sold to me, Oba, I no get money to give state government. I beg, sign new deed of assignment for her. Oba will now say, okay, we did transaction, Abi, and when you bought it from me for 5 million, Abi. How much do you now sell to Mommy G.O.? He say, I sold for 15 million. Oba will say, you give us about 5 million now, make we use whole body too. You go chop from the transaction. That money when you no one give state government, you now give it to him. So that's why some people tell you the family no agree sign documents. No. The guy that bought it first did not do what he was meant to do. And that is why the family now said, since you don't do like this now, you cannot go, she that wants to change her name cannot change the name until the person that owns the name on the CFO must sign it. That same deed of assignment, so that when she now goes there now, my name is no longer in that transaction. Though there is a contract of sale between me and her showing she bought that land from me. A lawyer can come into this place and your building be this and your name Abi, but it does not know the boundaries where the land starts from when it ends. That is where you now need a surveyor. They will use their instruments to pick the coordinates. They can pick the coordinates of this whole Etiosa. They will survey it and tell you who owns it, the first owners of this land. That's how detailed they can be. So you need a surveyor. So the surveyor picks that coordinates and then asks for the copy of the survey. So that is when you now ask them for their own survey plan. So you now touch the land will now carry the most recent registered survey plan on that land. So if there was no survey plan that was registered against that land, it would be blank. It will just tell you that it is free. But you just have a provisional survey. So a survey plan that is not registered is what they call provisional survey plan. They can give you a survey plan for a land that they brought you to this land and said that this land they want to sell. Meanwhile, the document they gave you is a land that is at the end of this road. Do you understand? So it is now when you now pay, you want to take possession, you now enter this land, the person will shoot you. Say, you're my land, but if they say you pay, it is not then, they will not carry you, where your coordinates. They don't tell you your coordinates is facing water. So that's why you need a surveyor to do that. So all this information is very, very important. So always go to land transaction with a lawyer and a registered surveyor. So I said that before. Okay, thank you. So that's to the end of my slide. Is it making sense? Did it make sense? Did you learn one or two things?